You know what's crazy? I never heard anything about the Great Resignation. I just heard about the Great Resignation about a month and a half, 2 months ago, like mid-July. And I'm just now getting around to making this video. And after doing a little bit of research into what the hell the Great Resignation really is even about, I come to find that it was coined by Professor Anthony Coates. He coined the term Great Resignation because he believes the rise of a hybrid and remote work help cause phenomena, and how we spent our time before the pandemic may not be how we want to spend our time after this pandemic. And that's interesting because definitely during this pandemic, I have been hearing that people are working remotely from home. And, quite frankly, like that's pretty comfortable to work remotely from home, because you can live at your own, you're at your own space, you waking up to it. But something that stuck out to me more so about the Great Resignation wasn't just that your ability to work from home and being at the own comfort of your own space. It was more so that a lot of people during this time should have made that move already to quitting their jobs, but they waited into just now to quit their jobs and move on to something better, whether that's to a different job or whether that's to them starting their own business and realizing something about themselves. And it's very sad because that's a lot of pent up time that you have inside of you where you should have been doing something, or you should have been at a place that you should have been at, but you decided just now to do it, so it's been eating away at you. And to be quite frankly, man, these jobs, like my mindset, these jobs don't give a f about you, so why should you give a f about them? You should have been left, you should have been done what you were going to do. But since you decided to do it now, which is a better time than ever to do it now, good job for you guys that definitely decided to do it. And and it just got me thinking about some of the people that's in my family. They don't necessarily work. Like, I have a couple of people that's entrepreneurs in my family that they decided to just quit their jobs. They just got up and they just quit their jobs, and they didn't just moved on, and they started their own businesses, and they're successful at it, making their own money because they realize that jobs is just not for them. And everybody, they have to go their own way and make their own mind up, and figure out what the hell that they're going to do. Not everybody wake up and realizes their full potential and their gifts at an early age. Some people realize it later, but is later, it's better than ever to realize that about yourself and go ahead and just do what it is that you need to do. But I mean, it's pretty sad working at these places, dare I say, because so many people have gifts and talents, and they're just dying at these jobs. You waking up every damn day, listening to an alarm clock, going to work, going to a place that you don't want to be at, you know, rushing to go to work, going through traffic, catching transportation, spending time doing things that you don't want to do that's not given to you. But yet and still you getting up and you're making your way to it, and you're getting paid a check, a small portion of a bigger portion of what they're making off of the backs of many of you people out there in the workspace. And and many of us with that money, just have enough money to pay for our bills and pay for our lifetimes. But yet and still, many of us with that money, don't really have enough money to be able to afford to wake up and walk down to the street, to the corner, and walk back. Many of us can't even afford to wake up and yarn. I mean, and it's very sad because many of these jobs, they quote unquote, they feed us this BS lie of the family atmosphere, the family setting. And to be honest with you, it's not no family setting at these many jobs. I mean, many of these various of these damn jobs, there isn't no family atmosphere at these jobs. That's just a way to get you to feed into actually working harder than what you should be working at these jobs. Bleeding yourself dry. Tiring yourself out, and then they send you on your way home, and then you have a barely enough energy to give to yourself at home. Give to your family if you're married and you got children and stuff like that. You wake up, you spend most of your time at a job, and then you come back home, you still broke. You still barely got enough money to afford things that you want to do. You have yet to start, putting your foot forward and pursuing your goals and dreams. They're still off somewhere, in a closet somewhere. You done shoved it off and you done forgot about it. These jobs, they leave you miserable. They leave you tired. And To be honest with you, for the 4 million people that did decide to quit, I believe the statistic says it was early back in April or May. Good job for you guys, because you realized that you are better than these jobs and you actually started to demand more. Because to be honest with you, with these jobs actually would do you that way if you don't do them back that way first. And that's very good. So instead of sitting up here getting upset at these jobs and being miserable, get up and change them. If that job that you working is not best for you and it's not best suited for you, get up and change that job and go into a different direction and go into a better workplace that you feel that will offer you a better work environment, better benefits. That job actually knows what to do with you. That job actually, will place you in the position that you need to be. If you feel like that job is not good for you, you feel like, what, look, this is it. Work is not, something that's for me. I need to go someplace else and do better for myself, and I can actually draw in more money myself. I actually have gifts and talents that I can put on them to display, and I'm tired of giving myself to a company that don't know what the hell to do with me. I'd rather just go out there and spend that time working and perfecting myself. Good for you too. Take your ass out there and do the same thing and go ahead and just change that job and go into a different direction. But other than that, I caught this clip on Dave Ramsey, and he's going to talk about it, and I'm going to give my 2 cents on it, what I think about it.
Great resignation.
Yeah. Surveys are saying that American workers, up to 40% of the workforce in America, is looking to change jobs this year. So here we are as we are approaching, halfway through, and they're just going, hey, I'm going to make a move. So you're going to see this in 2021 and 2022. A lot of people changing jobs. You talk about 25% is the low end of the survey. 40%, that's an extraordinary number of people who are saying, you know what? It's time to make a change. It's certainly the pandemic had a lot to do with that.
Brought on by the pandemic, giving you a philosophical reset and saying, life's too short to work at something I hate with people I hate.
That's right. Here's what happens. So we know that change is one of the greatest concerns for any human being. Change is scary. It has all this unknown. And so change is really, really ugly. However, when a forced change happens to you, so let's take the pandemic.
And change really isn't scary. It's all about how you perceive it. If you've been ready to get up and make that move, make that move. What is scary is you sitting down and staying at the same place that you used to be at, sitting there still wondering, hoping and thinking about, should I have got up and made this move, or thinking about it, man, 5-10 years from now, like how long that I stayed at this job, I could have actually been doing something better with my life long term, or I actually could have been at this place that I could have been at. So change really isn't all that damn scary. Like it really isn't. It's just about what a person perceives. It's not scary all the damn time. It really isn't.
And it was a massive change for people in arguably the largest area of their life. You think about time you spend at home with family, friends, sleeping. You think about work. That's the thing you spend most time on in your life. And so when there's a forced change, you didn't have any choice. You were sent home, either furloughed, laid off, or you were working from home. So now all of a sudden you're confronting a change that you had no choice over, and now you're dealing with that change. And so then we begin to go, oh, wow, this is huge.
And for a lot of you that was laid off and you was receiving unemployment, see this as a blessing and see that as an opportunity, because most of you hated that damn job that you was at. So that time that you spent at home being laid off, you got fired, whatnot, what have you, that was the time that you should have been working on yourself and preparing yourself for that way when they decided to strip away all the money back from you guys and, lift the unemployment stuff, you guys could have already, been making money elsewhere. That's because you prepared yourself and planned. That's the reason why change is scary for people, because people do not prepare themselves for what's coming up next in their life. All people do is just focus on the next day. They don't prepare 6, 7 months, 5, 10, 100, 200 years from now. They just are focused on the next day, the next hour, and that's not always good. Focus on the next day and next hour, but also prepare yourself for that next step in life that could be at the end of the year. Also have a cushion for yourself. Don't just sit up here and just be comfortable and just focused on what's happening right now. Realize that there's other things that could be that there's things that's happening right now that could be setting up a chain reaction for something that's going to happen later. That's also why change is scary for people too. We're not prepared as people.
What other parts of my life would I like to change? And I think that's what has happened collectively. People are going, well, I had to deal with this. What would it look like if I actually worked in a place that I really love? What if I did work that mattered deeply to me? What would I have to do? What if I changed some things to be able to get qualified to make more money? What if I paid off debt? And I think you're seeing people are going, you know what? I think it's time. And I'm going to move. Here's what's interesting with this. 40% of American workers are considering moving into something else, so they're going to quit their current job. And you got 9.3 million jobs, Dave, that are open right now.
Damn.
And so it is a good time is the point, because companies are needing talent. They want talent.
Yeah, but if you're one of these companies with no soul,
you can take advantage of people.
And no, people aren't going to come.
No,
you're going to end up with a labor shortage.
Well, we already have that. Absolutely.
I mean, you're going to end up not being able, because these folks are, what we're saying is that because of the pandemic, they said life's too short, and that's what the surveys are indicating.
Yeah.
That they're not going to go to work for a company where life's too short again.
That's true.
They're going to go, they want to plug into something where they matter, where the work matters, and where it's something that they actually have a freaking talent at, that they're not just there to collect a check.
That's right. They have realized life is too short.
Crusade-driven organizations like Ramsey.
That's it. See, we all long.
I think we'll benefit from this.
We will benefit from it. I'm going to tell you this, the Ken Coleman Show and Ramsey Solutions, we're positioned to help a lot of people make this move. Because now they need to know what they're looking for. Some of them don't know. They're just going, this isn't it. And so what we teach every day, as you know, Dave, on the Ken Coleman Show is, hey, use talent as your tool. Your talent are premium tools. You do work you love. We call that passion. You just love the work. And then that work creates a result that matters deeply to you. So when we hire people at Ramsey Solutions, here's what you got to be. You got to be a crusader. You have to be.
You ever heard that saying that your talent gets you into the door, but your work ethic keeps you in the door? That's what I believe that he's referring to.
Be deeply, deeply committed to the results of hope, practical paths forward for people to turn their life around, whether it be on the Dr. John Delaney Show with your mental, emotional health, the Ken Coleman Show, turn your career around, or turn your money life around. And so when you come here, you better be missional, and you better care about the result of life change, hope, practical steps forward for people.
Well, you won't make it through the interview process, and if you did, you won't fit in.
No, if you lie to us,
if you want to just collect
you
a check,
will be exposed, because this is a different place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about that this morning and stuff. I mean, this is how we do things.
Yeah.
And not everybody needs to be a we.
That's true.
You know? So you may, if you want to just say, well, I've got a degree in X, and so I have a talent.
Yeah.
And you should just pay me for delivering on that talent.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Nope. That's why we're getting so many developers coming.
Oh, yeah.
Because we work a developer 40 hours a week, not 80.
That's right.
And we work a developer where they're writing code doing something that matters. And so when they woke up during the pandemic, they didn't wake up and go, I hate my job. They woke up and went, man, we've got a lot of people need our help.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so they're going, hey, I know that if I'm in here in this company coding, that it is going to be directly tied to transformation.
See, I think that's
what everybody wants, is to make a difference in their work.
So the net result will be, for the economy overall, if this transition is accurate.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you hate your job, most likely that's not a place that you need to be at. But if you keep staying there, you're going to eventually start hating your life. And that's just going to be a direct reflection of you allowing yourself to just keep doing something that's not benefiting you. That's not who you necessarily are. And that's not everything that you can do. You're trapped. And you can't, give yourself and give everything and unlock all your talents and your gifts and utilize everything about you. So you just feel trapped, and you just feel like you're just doing just one thing. You're just living. You're just merely existing, and you're just collecting a check, coming home, and then that's it. You coming home, staying up all hours of the night on your phone, looking at other people doing things that you yourself can be out there possibly doing too, gaining an audience, gaining attraction, getting paid for your gifts and talents as well too. So at the same time, definitely leave some of these damn jobs. Like, leave these jobs. If you want to still work, there's nothing wrong with that. Just go out there and find a job that best suits you, because I'm letting you know, these jobs, they will fire you and they will get rid of you if you don't fit into their overall scheme of stuff. Because at the end of the day, all you doing is just receiving a paycheck to actually build up somebody else's dream. That's all that you're doing. You're receiving a paycheck to build somebody else's dream, and you're getting a paycheck to forget about your dream at the end of the day. That's all that you're doing just at these jobs. That's all you're doing, just making them money, and they're just giving you a small portion of a bigger portion of what they have. That's all that you're doing. That's all you're doing. So at the end of the day, when you put yourself in that mindset, your best bet is to quit and just walk away and just let go of everything that was at that job. Because really, when you think about it, you didn't let go much. You let go of a company that didn't care about you. You let go of a company that was not sitting there trying to figure out how can they best utilize your gifts and your talents to help further the company. There was more, well, actually they were thinking about that, but they wasn't thinking about how they can position you in a way where you can go out there and you can also too build a brand for yourself. That's where you come into play. You can't sit up here and you can't, get upset at these jobs, and you can't sit up here and get mad at everybody else, because you're at these jobs, you're getting paid to do something that you can go out there and do for yourself. So if you want to go out there and you want to make it happen, just go out there and just make it happen. Don't rely on these jobs. A smart way that you can do it is you can take some of that money that some of these jobs are actually paying you, and you can store up a little bit, pay your bills, budget, get the groceries, do what you need to do, but take some of the money, budget it, and set it aside to go out there and invest in the things that you're good at. Set aside some of that money so when you do quit, you have at least 6 to 12 months of rent that's secured to pay up your bills, student loans, credit cards debt, car loans. I think I already said rent and stuff like that. So that goes with the apartment and the house. So make sure that you set aside some money. Also plan ahead. Don't sit up here in these jobs and just think about surviving day to day. Plan 6 to 10 years from now. Plan at the end of this year that you are going to get up and leave this job, because it should not take you this long to realize that, you know what, this is not a place that I need to be at. Stop feeding into this nonsense that these jobs are telling you, that this is a family atmosphere, that we all are here for each other. No, they are not there for you. You are there providing a service to them. They are just providing a check to you. That's all they are. Their clientele is the public out here. Your clientele should be the public out here as well too, but you necessarily won't be able to get a piece of that pie because you're too busy sitting up here focused on how can you best represent this company, how can you best help them and further their dream and further push them to the next level. And then you blink your eye, and then you blink, next thing you know, you're retiring off of 401k or 457, or if you work at some of these pension jobs, and you still haven't done everything that you wanted to do. Now you're in your next phase of life and you're not accomplished. Not an accomplished man, you're not an accomplished woman. So definitely take those steps to prepare yourself to exit some of these jobs instead of staying here relying on the check that they're giving you, because the check that they're giving you does not necessarily speak the values that you actually bring to the table. You need to set the values that you bring to the table for yourself. You have to take yourself into the best consideration as possible. So that's what you guys need to do.
If this survey is accurate, will be a huge increase in productivity,
Yes.
because people will leave jobs in bad situations that they are not good at, that they're not passionate about, and go plug into something,
Yes.
A, that they're good at, and B, they're passionate about in a better situation. And
Sound like a bad relationship. It sounds like a lot of these things that we're in these jobs and we're being abused by these jobs. We're sitting up here and we're giving so much and so much to these jobs that these jobs is giving very little back to us. And that's necessarily the cause of a lot of breaks up and divorces also too. Either one or both people in a relationship is not willing to give a little to get a little back. Somebody in the relationship is loving that person more than that person actually loved them back. And in this case, with these damn jobs out here, we're loving these jobs more than these jobs are loving us back. So that's also another reason for us to leave. Dave Ramsey talking about that just sparked in my head bad relationships going wrong and stuff like that, like definitely bad relationships. So
and they'll produce more,
Way more.
which in goods and services,
Yes.
which will help the economy overall.
It
So
will.
really, if everyone followed the Ken Coleman rule and got in something where their talent and their passion was aligned with what they were doing every day, then the economy would boom even
Yes.
more.
Productivity rises and durability increases. People stay longer. Tenure. People will stay in a place where they go, my work matters. The company sees me. Dave, you just touched on this. Underneath all of this is a massive warning.
if you want to stay in a place that where your work matters, you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to make it your responsibility to create these opportunities for yourself. There is no such thing as stability with these jobs. There is no such thing as stability with these jobs. Somebody else is choosing whether you're going to clock in today and still have a job. You can get hired today and get fired today by these bosses. That is not stability. So if you want a place where you matter and your talents are on full display, and you're giving the best that you got, and you want to stay there for a long period of time, because let's be honest, who wants to stay in a good situation for a couple of years, a couple of months, a couple of minutes? You want to stay there for a long period of time. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to care about yourself. Stop expecting people to do for you what you can do for yourself. That's what you're going to have to do. All more other reasons for you to just be sitting down, journaling, documenting, preparing yourself, budgeting everything out that you need to set yourself up for the next, avenue in your life. That's what you need to do pretty much. So stop sitting up here thinking that you're going to leave one job and go to another job and that job is going to be better than the next job. No, all you're doing is going from job to job to job, and you're still being used, and nobody is putting back into you what they're getting out of you. You can't keep doing that, man. It's very sad.
To leaders and to companies that if you don't give people a connection to their work, if they can't see that you care deeply about them, because they could be in their sweet spot, talent, passion, mission aligned, but if you have a crappy culture, they will leave you. They will leave you, and you better have a place that is healthy, and you better have a place that is dominated by leaders who care for their people, and people feel like, hey, you see me. I'm not just doing work that matters to me, but I matter to you, because you share how we collectively, everybody at Ramsey Solutions, matters to the world out there. That's what's special about this place. And companies that don't figure this out, you're going to lose talent at an alarming rate, and the companies that figure this out, Dave, are going to explode. They're going to grow like crazy.
Yeah. And one of the things that
I don't think these jobs really care about losing talent as much. I'm sure there are some jobs that probably care about their employees, but I don't think for the most jobs they care about it, because most jobs will tell you to your face that pretty much you're just a number. A lot of jobs will tell you that you're just a number, and there's a whole bunch of people out there lining up every day, every month, every year just to get your job. So the minute you quit or the minute they fire you, they're going to move somebody else in, because that's all you are pretty much. These jobs are just a number. That's all you are, is just a number. You just a number. So there's no feelings and none of that stuff involved. That's why people also need to leave some of these jobs, because your feelings is being too wrapped up in something that leaves no grounds for your feelings. This is not about feelings. This is about money. This is about who can do what. This is about who can provide the best service. And your feelings need to be left at that damn door. But since your feelings is wrapped up in these jobs, what you need to realize is, you know what, these jobs don't care about me. So let me go out here and let me make something for myself. Let me do something on my own. Let me stop putting my feelings and my emotions into these jobs, because all these jobs is doing is just sucking the damn life out of me. And I'm actually allowing these jobs to suck the life out of me with no consequences behind it at all. So what you need to do is you need to go out here and prepare a plan so you can get your ass up and leave these damn jobs and do for yourself. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it may be scary at first because you're talking about it, but now you're going to actually take the steps to actually do some action and do it. But hey, it's going to pay off in the long run, and you're going to be able to look back and say, man, I remember that I used to go to that place, and I remember I used to look dead just like those people walking in and out that job, and I remember I used to get paid a check to forget about my dreams and forget about what I can bring to this world. That's what you need to do. Go out there and prepare yourself. Go out there and go out there and take the step, because hell, many of these jobs, we're realizing and we're finding out that we are more competent than our supervisors, our managers, and our bosses that's over us. We know more about the job than they do. Yes, they may know the business side, but when it actually comes to the work and us, doing the manual labor to actually, fatten their pockets, they don't know shit. So you go out there and you build yourself. You got the work end of it. Go out there and find out how to do the manager side of it now. and add those things together, and you'll have you a successful business, a successful longevity career. You'll be able to set your own environment how you want to. And that's the problem. Not a lot of people are taught to be leaders. We're taught to be followers, and everybody have a follower mentality, wanting to be a damn leader. And when it comes time to you to be a leader, that's why you have such a small percentage of people being leaders and such a big percentage of people being followers, because everybody is very comfortable at being a follower. You're being comfortable at watching people on social media do what you can do. And a lot of these people on social media ain't talented. All that these people have is they're brave. They're willing to go out there and bet on themselves, and they're willing to go out there and put their best foot forward and do it. So that's what you guys need to do. Other than that, you guys, I hope you like this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, because I do challenges and I do reaction videos. Mostly I'm doing reaction videos, but I may put some challenges in there too where I'm looking at videos. But please tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with this whole great resignation? And if you also have left your job recently or are planning to, tell me down below in the comments. Always tune in next time for the next video. I'll see you later.